Hi all, in this video I'm going to show you how I do my weekly analysis for higher time frame picks to catch on a lower time frame and add entries and ride the moves. So I start off with my higher time frame universe of forex pairs, which includes all the pairs from the usual euro, dollar, yen, pound, CAD, Aussie, and New Zealand. I do not include Swiss francs because Swiss francs has a history of being pegged and floating rate currency, and more importantly, they have a history of suddenly announcing the changing nature of its currency, as from pegged to unpegged to back to pegged, and so on. So I don't trust the Swiss franc so much for higher time frame positions where I may have multiple positions running from adding positions. So that's why I didn't choose Swiss to be part of my high time frame universe. Now, my weekly analysis has been quite reliable for the last 3 weeks of testing in the live markets, and this is how I do it. I always start from the weekly. I look at and I ask myself one question: which way is the next weekly candle going to go? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? That's all I ask myself. And based on my answer to that question and how good that answer is and how confident I feel about that answer, I pick my weekly picks. But for every pair, I have some sort of anticipation on which way it's going to go, and that's what I would see over here. So this is my strength or flow matrix. It's not really a strength matrix, it's more like a weekly candle flow matrix. Next weekly candle, which way is it going to go? So for example, if I have a -1 here, that means I anticipate USD to be a bit weaker against the euro, meaning I anticipated that this would go up a little bit from this week. I looked at last week and I thought this would go up. So this is the current weekly candle going up. That seems to be working. So I'm going to just go through the whole list and give you my how I came to these conclusions. Do this very quickly. So euro, yes, I expect it to go up because it's reacting from this resistance, sure, but this resistance got it down to over here, then it went back up, and but this, although it touched this resistance couldn't come down all the way. And on the daily, I saw that there was some sort of consolidation happening, and the support here was holding. So I'm anticipating that the buyers will still be a bit in control and try to go up. That's why for my weekly, this is going up. But it didn't make my list of high time frame movers to play because it's too close to resistance. It's just a little bit too close to resistance, so I don't that wasn't on one of my picks as a good one to enter and ride for the week. USD yen, this was a really great pick for me. Not last week, for the week before last week. So at that point, I thought, well, this support has been holding for a while, and over here on the daily, let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, over here. This was where the markets were the week before the last one, and I saw a very strong move up by the buyers and sellers coming down, buyers pushing it back up, and I thought this may be a fantastic buy up to for the week. And that's indeed what happened. I still think this may be going up, so I still have this as a buy, but it's too close to resistance to qualify as a higher time frame mover. But I still expect a buy in this one. Pound USD, I anticipated a buy in this as well. So as you can see, pound USD -1 against the pound, meaning I anticipate pound USD to go up. The reason for that was, sure, I see some sort of reaction here by the sellers, but on the lower time frame, they actually could not take out the support. So because they could not take out the support, and I thought the buyers are probably going to have another chance, another attempt to go even higher than this sell price to get some better price for the sells to begin. Therefore, that was on my list to also go up, but not on my list for higher time frame movers because it's too close to resistance, and I'm anticipating that the sells may hit some soon. So it's not a get in and ride the move sort of thing. Aussie US, this wasn't on my list actually. I had it on my list initially, but then I removed it, and then I added it back again. But this is pretty great setup. Reacting from a weekly buyers area on the monthly as well. It looks pretty good because it's reacting from this support over here. And what really interested me on Aussie USD was this sort of candle over here, which shows that the buyers went up. The sellers tried to push it down, but they weren't able to do so. So all I needed to see is some confirmation on the lower time frame that the buyers were still active, and this is a good move to ride up. So that's my analysis for this week. It's on my list of pairs for potential movers to buy and ride. So when I did my analysis, I was on this candle, and when I was on this candle, I anticipated that maybe the sellers are going to come down in towards this range. But when the buyers actually started kicking back in, I thought, okay, maybe the sellers don't have what it takes to make a low over here. This is just a fake out down, and I'm anticipating a buy, and of course aware of these resistance areas. But between here and here was a decent amount of profit. I wasn't able to catch it, unfortunately. I wasn't able to catch any of my high time frame picks just yet due to being busy and missing my alerts and being asleep when my alerts were going off and that sort of stuff. But anyway, the analysis looks valid and the analysis looks working. USD CAD, I anticipated buy on this one, I think. Yep, USD gaining against the CAD. So I anticipated a buy on this one because I see the sellers coming down, but leaving a wick over here. Looks like the sellers may not have what it takes. And on the daily, I saw that the sellers come down, but they stop. They stop right here. And then on the 14th of September, last Friday, the buyers seem to have started. So I was anticipating a buy, but again, not a weekly mover kind of thing because there's still this sort of resistance to worry about. So and it's a fresh resistance, so I'm anticipating some sort of multiple sort of swings to happen somewhere around here. Not a great one to buy and ride. Now, New Zealand USD again, just like Aussie USD, I thought this was a fantastic buy. And that is indeed what it seems to be doing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch this one also for the same reasons. But again, why did I choose this as a weekly mover, and what is my anticipation on this? Well, reacting from a monthly support area over here, fresh support area, and on the weekly, I again see sellers come down, and then this candle just showing a bit of pause over here. And on the lower time frames, what I saw was this move down, move up, sellers coming down, and then I started to see that the sellers were not following through. Therefore, I thought this is probably going to be a good buy, and getting maybe to around this area. So that was on my list for the picks, or for list of picks for the week. On the weekly, it looks like it could get up to at least around here, this area. That's on my list. It made the list of high time frame picks to buy and ride. Euro yen, again, I anticipated a buy on this one. A few weeks ago, I was on this candle, and I rode this move up from around here to around here somewhere, which was a great move to ride. Anticipate, and my original analysis was that it should get up to at least here. Learned some things from this pullback. That is, the pullback was just 2 days, but I still got out of the whole position. I would have played it a bit differently and instead hedged my sell position because my initial analysis just still pointed to it going towards over here at least. So at this position, it was still a buy for me, but a little bit too high of a buy to confidently buy and ride up. Even though it looks like a pretty good buy, it just did not make my list for the week. So Euro yen is an interesting one. because euro yen on this time frame, I do see that the sellers are reacting quite hard, and I do anticipate a move down. But on this candle, I saw that it was reacting at support, and on the daily, I saw that there was a strong, so seemingly strong candle, but made a marginal lower low. Buyers basing, sells hit it hard again, but it's not really a particularly strong follow through. Again, another seemingly strong sell candle with the wick on top and everything, but finally the buyers are kicking back in. So I'm really interested to catch this one time frame. I just would like to see. Oh, damn it, I missed the move. Okay, so I had my alert over here, and I just wanted to well, it gives me confidence, because I know my high time frame analysis is like getting very, very accurate, and it's getting my anticipations on the high time frames are getting very good. But I was looking to catch this somewhere around this support. One of the things I have to work on is actually knowing exactly what level of pullback to expect, because I consider so many time frames. I have to know what level of pullback to expect. I have to marry the story of multiple time frames together, and so then that's an area of improvement for me. But very happy to see this, because it's just giving me a lot more confidence that my high time frame picks are quite reliable, and they have been for multiple weeks now. So the pound was a buy, and it looks like it's working again. Euro Aussie, it looked to me, I had this as a sell bias, so you can see over here, sell bias. Euro against Aussie was a sell. And the reasoning for this was, okay, it started reacting from this area a little bit, and it's just paused at this resistance, which is a monthly seller's area. So if I go up to the monthly, see, it's reacting to the monthly sellers area. So I'm anticipating that the buy would not really happen around here, but neither was it on my big list of sells, because I was anticipating that some sort of consolidation will happen, at least on the daily or the week, or maybe even the weekly. So this is not really a great one to buy and ride up, sell and ride down. So it didn't make my list, but I was anticipating a sell there. Again, looks to be working, so pretty good. Euro CAD, I anticipated a buy on this because of a big fake out over here, overall upflow, and although it reacted from this resistance, the reaction from that resistance wasn't particularly strong, and these buyers at this support, which is more visible on the daily, were still holding. So you see these buyers were still holding. So I'm anticipating that the move will go up to around this area, maybe consolidate a little bit more, anticipating some sort of consolidation. Therefore, it is not on my list of higher time frame picks to get in and ride. Euro New Zealand, again, the week before this, actually, it was on one of my picks to buy and ride, because around here I thought there was still some space to go up, so it was on my picks to buy and ride, but not very high conviction pick, but it still worked quite well. But now I'm anticipating that there is a down move due, especially since I saw some consolidation over here. Probably this may be a spike up to this area first before it goes down, but I don't want to, it's not a high conviction buy at the moment, a bit too high for me, and so it's not on my list. But Euro New Zealand, I am anticipating that this week it would go down. Oh, see, so anticipating that it would go down. There you go. So pound yen, I anticipated that this would be a buy, because these buyers were very strong, and they had already sort of reacted from this resistance over here without doing anything, and therefore I anticipated that this would be a good buy up a little bit higher towards this resistance. But it didn't make my list of higher time frame plays, because it was a little too high to buy, a little too close to resistance, so not a very good one to buy and ride up confidently. So Aussie yen, however, made one of my picks, and this was one of my best picks actually for a buy, because I saw that last week there was a strong reaction as I anticipated over here. Now this really should have been on my list last week, and it actually was on my list, but again I was unable to catch it. So I really have to work on my entries for catching these things, as I've said. But this was on my list for a buy, because it was reacting from a great area, and showing a good fake out and everything. Although the move was like half done, I thought there was still very good potential up. Okay, so I'm running out of time. Thanks, and comments and questions are very much welcome.